Well, hello there, friends, and welcome to Virtual Strangers 78. I'm your host, Wes. With me, as always, my good friend Roots. Roots, how you doing this fine Sunday morning, sir?
Good. I'm a little tired, just like you, but I'm getting through it. I'm drinking a lot of coffee and doing a lot of excitement, man. Been a lot of commotion, a lot of ups and downs this week, and it's been an exciting time in VR, man. It's a time that if you're bored in virtual reality, I don't know what the hell's going on because there's just a lot going on.
That's very true. And you're right. I am feeling a bit tired. But if there's any main reason for it, it's probably because I've been playing VR instead of sleeping all week. Uh, like, it's odd. As many of you know, I've sold all of my PCVR headsets. All I've got to play on now, at least for the next couple of weeks, is my PlayStation VR. And you'd think that maybe that I would be playing a little less VR or at the very least playing the same amount. But in fact, Roots, I've been playing about twice as much as I normally do.
Yeah, it's crazy. Me too, actually, and a lot of preparation for me. Like even just I got the HOTAS for Star Wars, and so I've been enjoying that. But I've been preparing for my inevitable virtual reality experience in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I want to be somewhat proficient when I go into it. When it finally comes into VR, I don't want to be learning how to fly. And I'll tell you what, that HOTAS dude is like next level for actually flying a plane. Who would have thought, actually having HOTAS would actually make flying easier? I'm loving it. It's probably one of the best investments I've made in VR for a while. And for me, it was the entry level. I'll get it right. Somebody said it was entry level. I'm not going to even mention your name so I don't throw you under the bus. It's the entry level model and I'm enjoying it. I don't know the difference. But I look forward to like the Warthog somewhere down the road when I want to have a full metal experience of the HOTAS. So
See, now that's awesome because I've never ever used one of those. And for those of you who don't know, a HOTAS is a hands-on throttle and stick. Uh, it's it's a specific kind of controller. I want to call it a game controller, but really more of a simulation controller that allows you to play these flying games with a more realistic feel. So Roots, you got your very first HOTAS this week. Is this the first time you ever used one?
yeah, it's the first time I've ever used one, even thought about using one. And you know what? It's funny. I made the comparison in the Discord, and this is how I feel. I feel like the HOTAS experience I had this weekend, or I guess it's the weekend, is the experience I wanted to have with the steering wheel that I didn't have. Like I left walking away from the steering wheel thinking, I don't know if I want a steering wheel. The jank with it, the fact that it's shaking as to simulate going over bumps. There's little things that bother me. This HOTAS, I literally, when I was playing Squadrons, I was, and once I figured out how to, I had to adjust a couple things. I had to switch there's the buttons on the end that adjust like on the Microsoft simulator, it's just the flaps. Or in Squadrons, it flips the ship, it rotates, right? You're spinning, but it was mixed up. That's what was my throttle, and I thought my throttle was broke, and I did all sorts of trying to troubleshoot, and then it just turned out all I needed to do was swap the things in the setting, and then it was easy. But once I did that, it was amazing, and it was like it's just next level. And it's reiterated to me that having something like that can make such a difference. Even just the fact that when I shift my throttle, I watch my guy moving in and out, and you know what I mean, the little bit things of virtual reality that it tricks your mind a little bit more. And I just am having a blast with that HOTAS.
Yeah, man. So does your setup, does it have a throttle for your offhand, or is it all in one?
I'm sorry, I was reading what Spry Guy said about. I alluded, didn't say who said the entry level, and Spry Guy just threw it out there. But it's all, well, it's two pieces, right? It's they come together. So you got the rudder or the thruster, and then you've got the joystick, and then I guess you can get the rudder, the pedals if you want or whatever. But I don't have those. So I just essentially just have the throttle. But I brought them together so it's one piece. But you can kind of separate them to kind of space it out a little bit more so it feels more realistic. Even just so that you're like in the TIE fighter, just matching up. So your arms are kind of spaced out a little bit instead of together. That makes sense. But nah, it was I'm just blown away by how good it makes flying. Even outside of VR, Wes, the flight simulator is amazing. And when I get into VR, it's gonna blow me away. It's already blowing me away just being flat. So I'm super psyched.
So that's cool. You're saying it's making your Squadrons experience all that much better, which is great because I felt like compared to the normal or the few experiences I've had in flight games, I feel like the controls, the gamepad controls on Squadrons were a little easier to pick up than normal.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things Drillo was saying is like there's a learning curve to the HOTAS, and for me especially because I don't know the button layout. So it's telling me hit button 11 to center your thing, and I'm like, I don't know what button 11 is. So I had to go back out and push all the buttons in the thing to figure out what it was. And so I'm getting it now, but a lot of times a lot of double tapping and stuff, but they got this really cool thing that's like a directional thing that you use kind of like a joystick almost, but it's also used for on the joystick, and it's used for the POV something or other, right? And that thing is super cool, man. Just the way that that thing works. I don't know. I'm sold on these HOTASes, and even I got the $80 entry level model for the Thrustmaster, and for me it works phenomenal. Sure,
Or
people.
as Drillo would call it, the $30 entry level
Yeah,
HOTAS.
that's what he said. I got that for $29 on sale. Well, Roots didn't get that lucky. Actually, I had to drive to Denver to get this sucker. That's how hard it is to get these HOTASes. Now I can see, the benefit. That person, he who must not be named. I could see the benefit of having a higher end HOTAS, and I guess somebody like Overgees or Spry Guy, they've got a really good. I think it's the X52. They would probably have a better idea. I'm sure there's benefits, and maybe you can feel it better. I wouldn't know any different. I thought it was cool to be able to steer around. And I was like you, Wes, before this whole experience. Most flying experiences didn't blow me away. Didn't walk away with, oh, this is amazing. But the HOTAS changed it for me, and I just think it's a great extra thing to have for virtual reality that makes a difference. At least it did for me.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, unless you're like super flight sim guy, there has to be a line that you draw when it comes to cost, right? Because my whole thing with getting a wheel and pedals for racing games has been it's a lot of money to spend for just a few games. But when you're talking about flight sims, there's even less. I mean, there's like half as many flight sims or good ones anyway as there are racing games in VR.
Yeah, and what's crazy is even the Flight Simulator 2020, man. You know, I had this dream, Wes, that I was going to take off and fly out of Japan because they added Japan to it, which is really cool for the DLC. And I was just going to do a quick flight, and I was going to fly through, and it was cool when I took off. But I'm having a dirt rally moment in Flight Sim, and I'll tell you why, because I can't get the I can't get the flight control lady to stop bugging me. Like, she's up in my grill. She wants to know where I'm going. She wants to know who I am, and is telling me to answer her. She's like getting really snarky and demanding, and I just want to fly. So my problem is I didn't do the training. I didn't figure out how to contact the flight control, and so it's very stressful when somebody's yelling at you and you can't talk back. So I don't know.
So they should have told you in the game description that the flight control person was actually your wife.
Yeah. She really was. She sounded like my ex-wife. She was just very demanding, and she wanted me to know where I was going, what I was doing. I get it, but no, I thought that was cool. I actually thought it was really cool that that they've got this aspect, and I guess I got to figure out how to play the lingo and let them know I'm on my way. I'm flying out of Japan. I just want to check out the sights, and I'm really impressed with it. So
So it's interesting. You've been playing the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, obviously. And for those of you who don't know, Microsoft Flight Simulator launched in August, and it has seen a positive reception with over 1 million players by the start of September. So that's pretty widespread adoption, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, yeah, dude, that's very widespread, and people are talking about it. So for good reason. You're getting VR people in there playing it flat, and it tells you a lot. I mean, I want to go.
So,
I want to check out the scenery. I want to see the Statue of Liberty and some of these sites.
yeah, so I mean, Microsoft Flight Simulator has been the standard for decades when it comes to simulators, but never before have we had virtual reality compatibility built into Microsoft Flight Simulator. Mainly because it's been what? It's been like a decade since we had a new one. But when it comes to VR, it's already been confirmed that the HP Reverb G2 will support the title upon launch, with other headsets coming at a later date. But never fear, guys. The team behind Microsoft Flight Simulator is initially looking for those that own the video game as well as a WMR headset to join a closed beta. So you're not going to have to wait for the G2 to come out. If you have any Microsoft mixed reality, I'm sorry, Windows mixed reality headset right now, and you own this game, you can actually apply to be a part of the beta. And then after this first phase, Asobo Studio is going to follow it up with by opening up the beta to other VR headsets.
Hmm.
Uh, of course, further stipulations for the closed beta require participants to be a registered Flight Simulator Insider. I don't know what that means. It's probably some kind of a special club for people who are into the MFS. You also have to sign an NDA, share your DX Diag logs, and of course meet the minimum spec. So, Roots, it's interesting. They're saying the minimum spec for this thing is
Hmm.
like a mid-tier CPU and a 1080. Is that going to be enough?
I don't know. I know Overgy's had to upgrade his to get it running smoothly, and he's one of those people that's trying to get into the beta. So I don't know if it's going to be enough because it's already intensive on the computers already. It's going to be interesting to see because I don't know about you, Wes. I'm excited about how gorgeous this thing is going to look because it looks gorgeous already. But if I got to go in and dumb down the graphics to get into it in VR, I'm not going to be as excited about it. I watched a video of somebody playing it flat with a not so good computer and it looked like shit. And I was like, man, can you imagine that being what your VR experience, things popping in, all sorts of weird artifacts or whatever. Now, one of the things that is interesting, F Frank or F Frank was asking if there's any reason.
Frank.
If Frank was asking if there's any reason to get the versions over the $60 version, and it's really just it depends on how into it you are, because the more you pay, the more planes you're going to get. They give you extra planes, and they give you specially drawn airports, like the Denver airport. You got to have the $120 version to get the special version of the Denver airport. Now, there's a lot of misconceptions. People say, oh shit, I don't get the Denver airport. That's BS. No, you get it. You just don't get the specially drawn artwork. You know what I mean? It's not going to look as close or as phenomenal as it would. And then whether you want to pay double the money for the same game, because this isn't it. This isn't the end of the DLC releases that you can pay for. My advice would be, at least this is what I did. I bought the $60 version, and I'll just wait for some kind of a sale down the road. They're going to have one day. It'll be $20 for, a bunch of stuff or whatever it is. I'm just not going to pay double. I had a hard enough time buying it outright anyway, Wes, because when I snubbed my nose at Microsoft's $5 Game Pass, I had 1 month. I could still get Game Pass for $5, and then it was going to go to 10. I said, fuck you. I canceled it. And then I said, oh shit, maybe I should have played the Microsoft a little bit. And I went back in there, and now it was going to be $10. And I sure as hell not going to pay double for the month I could have got for half price. So I ended up buying it. But I think it's worth it. So
These subscription plans come in handy. And by the way, guys, for those of you who are tuning in to get our extended thoughts on Star Wars Squadrons, as well as The Walking Dead Onslaught, of course, the Monday show. That's where we talk about what we've been playing, and we're going to go into a lot more depth and detail on those games tomorrow on the Monday show. But having purchased The Walking Dead Onslaught for my PlayStation VR last week, when Squadrons came out, I was faced with a bit of a decision. Do I want to buy Squadrons for PlayStation VR, or do I want to wait 10 days
Mm.
and get it on PC, which will probably be, at least from a production standpoint, a lot better of an experience. So I decided to do just that. I decided to wait, but then as launch day got closer and closer and people's hype level got higher and higher, I was really, I was really upset that I wasn't going to be able to play it on launch day. But then it dawned on me that this is an EA game, and there's a service that you can subscribe to on PlayStation 4 for Electronic Arts games, and it's called EA Play. And what you get with that for $5 per month, they allow you to have demo versions of their big releases, and the demo version really, in most cases, is just the game with a time limit, and the time limit for these games is 10 hours.
Oh
So I
shit.
thought, you know what, $5, I get to play 10 hours of Squadrons, and then in a couple of weeks we can pick it back up on PC. Count me in. So all this money you're saving with the Xbox Game Pass, I certainly can identify with that because the EA Play not only is saving me a bunch of money, but it's allowing me to play Squadrons a couple of weeks sooner than I would have gotten to originally.
Well, that's good because you just spent $35 on Onslaught. You don't need to do the same thing when you're gonna have Squadrons for free through Steam Share in 10 days. You know what I mean? Like at some
Do,
point.
do, I wanted to ask you about that because I'm not so sure that I'm actually going to
Oh,
be
that's
able to do that.
right. No, because of Origins. You're right.
Right.
Yeah, dude, they fucked everybody from Steam Share. Um, but either way, it's worth it, man. You only want to buy it once. So that's a good plan.
Plus, there was a couple of different, angles to it as well. Being subscribed to the EA service gives you a 10% discount on all of their games. So
Hmm.
even though I'm paying $5 for the service to play this limited demo of the game, if I went back in and just couldn't wait the 2 weeks and wanted to go ahead and get it on PlayStation, my $5 would actually buy me a $4 discount on the game. So
Mm-hmm.
you get most of it back. But no, I'm going to wait on PC because of the deal on Epic Game Store. I've got two different $10 coupons
Mm.
to spend on the Epic Game Store, and Squadrons is available on there, as we reported last week during the free stuff and killer deals segment.
Yeah. Oh, good deal, man. That's definitely worth it for sure. I'll tell you what, I got my game. Well, I kind of look at it as me getting Squadrons for $5 because my refund for Onslaught was 34, and then I just paid the difference $5 for Squadrons. So
Yeah, and I'm glad that I've spent some time in Squadrons because, as I mentioned earlier, it's really easy to pick up the controls and play. I had a lot of fun playing Ace Combat 7 on PlayStation VR, but as much as I struggled to get a grip on the controls for that one, that was pretty much non-existent on Squadrons. I mean, obviously, I'm I always have a little weirdness when I play flight sims because I never know whether to push up or pull down to fly.
mm.
But besides that, it's really easy to pick up, and it's got me a lot more excited for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Flight Sim, as beautiful as it is, it's not really a game. It's a flight simulator. There's no real objectives that you have other than to just fly and not crash. Um, and as excited as I have been to check it out from a visual standpoint, I haven't really been all that hyped for the actual flying part of it. It's like I would have been just as content to put my VR headset on and hit autopilot. But now, having played Squadrons, I'm actually a lot more excited for the flight sim.
Well, keep this in mind. You say you've been doing a lot better than Ace Combat, right? Well, there's
Hmm.
no taking off and no landing in Squadrons, and that's usually where the crutch of the damage takes, right? You crashing, taking off, or
Right,
landing.
right.
In Flight Simulator, it definitely there's learning to it, and it's just really cool. And I really I'm psyched to get into the actual headset of it. I mean, who doesn't want to? You jump into you could fly out of your local airport, and you could like fly to Idaho and see if you can fly over Radio Runt's new house, or whatever. Like that's the thing is like if if it's a big area, it's very detailed, and just jump in the plane and take a 2-hour flight, across this. Who doesn't have 2 hours to just fly in a flight simulator from one state to the next? Um,
Yeah, it
so,
reminds me of that Penn and Teller bus driving game. What was it called? Desert Bus VR.
yeah.
It's like the whole thing, the whole object of the game is just to drive, but they put multiplayer support in it, which makes it cool. So like your friends can like be passengers while you drive.
Well, that's what's cool about this, and I don't think they can be passengers, which I think would be cool. But like, man, there's people flying all over the place. So you could literally have, your friends flying around. I mean, I watched a stream where a bunch of people, I think it was Hat Tricks, or Hat something or whatever that streaming thing is. But they were all flying around and just messing around and right the same area. Um, I don't know. I just think it's kind of weird that people want to just fly around in a plane, and there's not really a goal to it. But I mean, you could do the whole role play with the, air traffic control, and you're taking your pilots or your passengers somewhere.
You know
So
what you could do is you could organize through the Discord an asynchronous co-op session where everybody gets in and decides to play MFS, and you can set up the party chat in Discord for push to talk so that it's not always on, and you can literally like push the button to talk like you would over your radio in the cockpit.
yeah, absolutely. Take you for a flight, right?
We could all play pretend together, Roots, like we were 5 years old.
That's 2020. We're pretending everything, dude. It's
That's
all pretend. Um,
We got a quote here regarding this closed beta. It says, "Our goal for Microsoft Flight Simulator VR is to create an incredible and immersive experience. While we wish we could invite everyone, unfortunately, this will not be the case. Much like our previous alpha and beta phases, we will only allow a select group of testers at any given time. The latest edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator offers 20 detailed planes, 30 handcrafted airports, with further locations and aircraft available in the Deluxe and Premium Deluxe editions. One of the unique features is real time weather and traffic systems to make the title as realistic as possible." So you're saying that the Denver airport's not included in the base package, but you can buy up to it?
yeah, I see. I don't know if you can. That's one thing. I don't know if you can like add it after the fact, or if I'm assuming that you could. I mean, I haven't really checked into it. I know there's DLC, in past flight simulators that they just release, and I mean, you could pay like 5 or 6 grand if you got it all when it's all said and done. So I'm pretty sure that you should be able to upgrade to it, but I don't see the point unless you're like this. I mean, the biggest draw would be the planes, right? Like either you have those planes to fly or you don't. I don't really care about a handcrafted airport. And like somebody said, you don't go in the airport. You taxi out of it and take off. Like it's not like you're sitting there looking at the airport for an hour and a half. You're there and you're looking at it for a minute and then you're fucking taking off going somewhere. So I don't see that
Yeah.
point. But if you're telling me X plane that I want to play, I can't play it unless I pay more money, then I can see unlocking it maybe. But I don't know. It's really a weird system to me.
They should offer up this stuff a la carte for these, really anal simulator dudes who want the certain plane or the certain airport. I would enjoy being able in virtual reality to walk through the airports to like see like if I could go in the Denver airport and see all those weird statues and artwork they have hanging up everywhere. Man, I would do that in a heartbeat. I'd pay for that.
Yeah, especially since you don't have to go through the airport itself and deal with all the the nightmare that ensues.
Right.
I want to go virtually in there, but yeah, that would be cool, man. Like a tour through, or just walking through each airport, or I don't know. I guess that's the conundrum, right? It's a flight sim, so as soon
You
as
ever
they
been down
start
there
having you
to
get out,
see all that stuff firsthand, all that weird stuff they have
oh,
at the Denver
I
airport?
I have those murals, and it's really weird. And some of the stories, even that horse with the red eyes and stuff, the fact that
Yeah.
they put that up and it like fell and killed one of the people when they were putting it up. I don't know, man. There's some weird stories behind the Denver airport for
Well, I
sure.
guess they had to sacrifice somebody to
Yeah,
the
they had to
horse
get like,
statue.
okay, ready for the sacrifice clip, you know. But no, I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's cool that they have, the Denver airport is one of because of course it's a very iconic airport, so they're gonna use it as a selling point. But you can go to. I went to Saudi Arabia, Wes. Like, I mean, there's a lot of places you can go check out the pyramids. Some of the artwork looks better than others, but
Yeah,
uh,
they keep showing the Jesus statue in Rio de Janeiro. I want to go fly by that thing.
yeah, circle around it, right?
Hey, I wonder if you could fly over like Machu Picchu and stuff.
I think there's limits, and I don't know. That's like they just added to Japan, so I'm assuming like not every area is in there, even though it is the world, or maybe it's not as detailed. Like my thought is if I literally tried to fly from a neighboring country and go over China, what's going to happen? At what some point do I get turned around? A Chinese traffic controller?
Anti-aircraft fire.
Yeah, dude, that'd be pretty cool. You get shot down, go to a concentration camp. But I don't, my thing is I don't know what would happen. I don't know how detailed it would be. Part of me thinks that this is like, even just from our country, it's logistically kind of weird. I mean, I could jump, if I was a terrorist, I could jump in an airplane and I could scope out any city in real time. I could, look at I mean, everything's identical. So you could lay out a lot of stuff and use it for nefarious reasons, which hopefully no one will do, but it's a little weird. So,
Yeah, they should have like the before you can play Microsoft Flight Simulator, they should have like a 30-minute section every time you boot it up where you have to go through like the TSA line
oh
and
God,
get checked out, get security clearance, and then you're good to go.
that'd be a good way to make sure I never play this thing again. I don't know what, I don't even foresee, I think I do have this thought like, will I ever fly again? Because things aren't getting looser, they're getting tighter. And I thought flying sucked before. I guess if I have to go somewhere, I don't know.
You know who's getting looser instead of tighter, Roots?
My mom!
Oh man, she has been around town for sure.
Yes, sir. Drew says he streamed Squadrons PvP last night for nearly 4 hours.
Wow, how did it run, Drew? Because that was my concern. Is like when I ran the game, it ran really good, but it was like right up at the edge of my video card. So I was like, as far as how it was running, so I was a little apprehensive to stream it because I didn't know if it was gonna tax it anymore or not.
Yeah, I heard people say that they were having some performance issues on PC. I didn't see much of it on PlayStation. Those couple of short instances where you're actually standing in the hangar and before you actually kind of boot into the game, there was some pretty heavy reprojection there, which was odd because you're not moving around. But when you get in the game proper, I really it ran pretty seamlessly on the PlayStation.
Well, that's good. Well, I'll tell you what, it's that's what and Mamefan made a point to me, and I reprojection wise, and I saw it too. Is like when I would move quick, it would kind of jitter a little bit. I don't know if they're working on stabilizing the PC version or not, but
Yeah, I'm sure that there's a lot more demand on the PC. I'm sure that there's a lot more high fidelity graphics going on. PD did a comparison, a graphics comparison on his channel this morning. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but the game looks awesome on the PlayStation 4 Pro.
oh yeah, I'll tell you what a amazing content is coming out of that channel, right? Out of Paradise Decays.
Yeah, he's like the jack of all trades there in VR. He plays everything.
Yeah, dude. If you want a
Literally.
video
Not
on
only does
anything.
not only does he play every VR game, but like he plays half of the flat games in VR with Vorpex, and now I even saw he did a Helix Vision video the other day.
Oh, cool. I'm going to be doing some Helix Vision Journey later today.
Was that? Oh, cool, awesome, dude. That's a great game.
Yeah, I'm going to play through, stream it, and first I promised Cyan I would do it from beginning to end in one session.
Well, you know, Sion's saying that it's good. It's got to have some redeeming qualities, right?
No, he left a review, dude, that was like, I mean, you have to read it. It was like, you need to buy this game or your firstborn son needs to die. But no, I mean, it was very like, this is amazing. It like was emotional. It elicited feelings. And that's the thing is he's telling me I need to group up with somebody and finish the whole thing with it. That connection with that person is what it's all about. So.
Sion tells us that we shouldn't be talking about Vorpex, and I guess he's right. We might get banned if we don't stop.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I'm going to use Helix Vision, so I'll be okay. As long as
Zero says he wants to use Microsoft Flight Simulator to visit Epstein's Island.
Oh yeah, well, it won't be as fun on that island. Well, you know, I wonder if you could see anything from above. You could see some stuff going on in there.
Hey, I've seen some stuff in VR, bro. Let me tell you. I can't wait for my new super high resolution headset to get here.
Yeah,
just leave it at that.
G2, I'll tell you what, I was looking at some of those pictures from Tyrael Wood's comparison, and it seems really clear, dude. I think you're going to be blown away. Great. That with the 3080 combo is going to be awesome.
And by the way, still trying. We're still swinging and missing. But I feel good about it. I'm not so stressed out on it like I was last week. I've been refining my my techniques when it comes to scouring the internet. And let me tell you, if this past week I had been off like I was the week before, I would have gotten one. The only reason that I haven't been able to get one because I've been at work.
Yeah, it's kind of like that GameStop PlayStation 5 day that you told me about. That's how I felt. I was like looking at this queue that I was stuck in, and I was like, I got to go to work. I don't have time to sit here and watch this thing. So I just closed it and left because I knew that there was no way I was going to nab it with thousands upon thousands of people refreshing, and I'm spraying for bugs.
You know, I came home later that night and walked right into a being able to buy a bundle if I wanted to from GameStop. I decided just to check it out just for shits and giggles, not because I actually wanted to buy it. But I sat in the queue for about 2 minutes, and it kicked me through, and there was still availability, but it was a bundle, and it was nearly $800 for all the shit they were trying to sell.
Wow. Well, I didn't see that bundle. I know what I saw was when I came back was sold out, and I said, of course it was. You know, like I wasn't here; it was gone. It slipped through my fingers, but I'll get it when
you'll get one. Yeah, this is like me with this 3080. I'm confident now that I'm going to get one. They pushed back the launch of the 3070 for 2 weeks. They say it's because they want to make sure that they have enough for people to get one. But honestly, I think it's a combination of things. I think they want to have 2 more weeks to sell 3080s, first of all, before everybody just says fuck it and buys the 3070. And also that's going to be a lot closer to the AMD launch window for their graphics cards. And the more I hear about them, the more I'm thinking that maybe a lot of people are going to be persuaded to go that route. Because while they don't have quite the core count that the NVIDIA processors have, they have like double the VRAM. And plus they're a lot more, the architecture this generation seems to be a lot more efficient. So it's not going to be for everybody. Obviously, you know, the AI and ray tracing, NVIDIA is still going to dominate in those categories. But a lot of people, especially professionals, are going to be persuaded by the AMD cards, and I think NVIDIA knows that, and I think that has a little something to do with them pushing 3070 back.
Yeah, absolutely. All AMD has to do is bring it out and have supply. You know, like right now, people want their shit, dude. Like if you tell me I can get an AMD and I was looking for NVIDIA, I might be swayed. And I'm NVIDIA boy. You know what I mean? As far as I want stability, maybe the next card, maybe it's worth that risk because Nvidia is just such a pain in the ass to get a hold of, and now I've got this card that I can get today, and it's got more VRAM, and everybody's saying it's good, and blah 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 blah. I mean, I can totally see where this could actually backfire on Nvidia, depending on what AMD does, and that could be why they're delaying the 3070, because they don't. Well, they've already tipped their hand on everything. They want to keep something a little bit closer to their chest before the AMD announces theirs, right? So.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, man, while we're on the subject, I saw the specs for the proposed 3060, which supposedly is coming very soon after the 3070. And let me tell you, man, that thing is going to be, it's pretty much going to be like being able to buy a 2080 for $350.
Wow.
So if I were you, no, I don't know how, if you're able to live without it for a minute, but your 2080 Super still has resale value today, but it's about to be worth jack shit here in about 6 weeks to 2 months. So you might want to consider getting something for it while you still can.
Well, see, my problem is like it would be a hiatus from the show. It'd be a hiatus from a lot of things because I can't stream anything. I can't, I think what I would be more apt to do would be if I was going to get a 2060, which I don't think I would, or 3060, I would get the 3070 minimum. Or was it the 3080 that had that extra oomph in the
Well, it was the 3080, but you know what? I think that maybe I was overestimating the benefit of having the GDDR6X as opposed to the regular DDR6. Apparently, the difference isn't quite as significant as NVIDIA would have led us to believe.
Yeah, so no, what I'm probably leaning more towards would be pick up whatever card I pick up and then giving it to my son.
Right.
Like he literally is using like you, he fried his video card a while ago, and so he's been using the one that's built into the processor, which is the 6700K, which is still okay, but it's not the same as
Can't game on it.
You can't game on it. No.
I tried it when I I was only on integrated graphics for a few days, but I tried to run Moose Life on it, and it would not do it.
Yeah. So I'll probably end up just giving it to him. But I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's a good point. 6 weeks, 8 weeks from now, the low end card is going to be the, something that's as good as the 2080, or even will be the 2080. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be a big deal for something like Microsoft Flight Simulator, where people are struggling to run it right now on their older hardware. I mean, even like the new AMD cards. I mean, that's something that would highly benefit a game like Flight Sim, is having that extra VRAM to load in all of these detailed textures and things. So, you know. Timely, these new graphics cards. I mean, if we're going to have Flight Sim in VR, we kind of need new graphics cards, and right on cue, here come new headsets, here come new graphics cards, here comes everything that we need to really enjoy something like this.
Yeah, dude, and a lot of people running out. I guess somebody said in the chat that Quest 2s are starting to disappear off of like Costco and other places. They're finally selling out, and
Wow.
Last week I was talking to a couple customers and they were all Xbox fanatics, and I asked them about the Quest 2. They didn't know about it, and I was talking to them about it. And I went back to that same apartment the other day, and the guy that lives there, his friend was the one that was over, and he said my friend went out and pre-ordered the Quest 2 like 10 minutes after you left last time. So I sold a headset, Wes, and it was people that weren't even aware that it was out there. So it was exciting.
Yeah, it always makes you kind of feel good when you talk to people when they're doing something like that. When I had my Quest up on Facebook, I talked to a few different people that wanted it. If I didn't sell it to the dude I sold it to, there was a couple of other people that were interested in it. And one of the guys was someone like myself who homeschools their children. He really didn't know a whole lot about VR. He wanted to actually buy it, not just the game on, but to use as an educational tool. And I pretty much sold that guy on VR. But of course, he didn't end up getting it. I already promised it to the other guy first. But I sent him a message like yesterday or the day before and told him about the Quest 2 and how much more capable it is for the exact same price that he was willing to pay me for the other Quest. So that guy seemed ecstatic that Quest 2 is a thing, and I'm pretty sure that I also have recruited someone new into virtual reality.
Nice. Think about this, man. Christmas Day this year. How many people are going to be doing this?
Yeah, I
Because,
know,
that's
right?
what it's all about. It's all about the Beat Saber, dude. Like, if you're not playing Beat Saber on Quest, I don't know what's wrong with you. I question your soul. Well, no, I don't. But I question if you do play it. But it's a different story.
Right, right. You know what else is going to be available on Quest when it launches, Roots?
What's that?
Dash World. Well, we've been talking about this game because we had a lot of fun in playing in a very lengthy beta campaign for this. It was surprising because we all kind of felt like it was a very polished game that was pretty much ready to launch from the time that we started playing the beta. But it did continue to improve over time. And then, after we got used to having it in our library and playing it fairly regularly, it just kind of disappeared. And then for many months now, not a peep out of this game. And we kind of wondered what happened to it. Well, now we know, Roots, that the VR combat kart racing game Dash Dash World is scheduled for official release onto Oculus Quest as well as Oculus Rift on October 8th, 2020. So 4 more days to go, Roots, and we're going to get an official release to Dash Dash World, and apparently it's not going to be 100% the game we remember. That they've added a lot more to it since it disappeared all those months ago.
Wow. Kind of psyched to see what it's all about. Because, yeah, I felt like part of my heart was ripped out when they stole it out of my library. Like you said, I got so used to playing that whenever I want, and then it was gone. Then I guess there's a beta right now, right? You could have got into the beta for the short, must be a short beta, I guess.
Yeah, it was one day beta.
I missed it, Wes. I was ready to go in there and check it out. And I mean, I already know that it's worth buying. Now, do we know what the release cost is going to be? Probably what,
I do
29?
not know. Yeah, they were talking before about it being somewhere between $25 and $30. So I got to imagine that's where it's going to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is one of the best kart racers out there in VR. Closest to
The best,
yeah,
the best.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely really amazing, and hopefully, they added some new levels that we're not aware of. But it's
Yeah,
cool.
really, our only complaint, right, was that what was it? It was like 4 or 6 tracks on the thing.
Yeah, there needs to be more levels. You need like I'd say a dozen, but I'm sure this is like it's something that they'll keep adding to. And these developers have proven to me that they're really concerned with fixing everything to run perfect. Like they've been running this beta forever, and not only that, but they're constantly asking for feedback in a form that I've said every developer should use. I mean, at the end of every race, it asks you questions. What did you think of this? What did you think of that? Just a quick answer. Boom, you're moved on. You're constantly getting people's feedback. It doesn't take 2 seconds, but to answer, and you want to answer. I don't know, man. It's a good system, and I really think these developers have proven to be very very diligent, and their game is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I think that their willingness to listen to the community is going to pay off in spades in just a few days' time because I think this is going to be a hit, Roots. I think a lot of people are going to buy this game, despite having dropped 70 or $80 over the last week on 2 fairly big releases. But I guess a lot of people asked for their money back with one of them. So
Yeah, yeah, dude, that thing's going to drop. We'll talk about it tomorrow, but I can't see it staying at the cost it's at now.
well, yeah, we will talk about it tomorrow, and uh, it's not going to win Game of the Year. Spoiler alert. But I think at least in some cases that people are piling on a little too much with it. It's not terrible. People act like it's like weeping doll or some piece of crap game that's just broken and janky and isn't enjoyable at all. That's not true. I mean, it's not my favorite game I ever played, but if you ask me, uh, do you want to play the Brookhaven effect or play Walking Dead Onslaught? I'll say, give me Walking Dead Onslaught 10 times out of 10. And I don't think most people that played it would disagree with what I just said. But for some reason, people won't criticize something like Brookhaven effect, but they will. They'll crap all over the Walking Dead Onslaught, and I think that reason's pretty obvious. It's expectations, right? You've got a Walking Dead game from Servios. It should have been better, right? And people, I think, were so bummed out by the fact that it wasn't what we all expected it to be, that they're acting like it has no redeeming qualities, and that's just not the case.
I think for $40, it doesn't have redeeming qualities. If you
It's
cut that in
it's
half, I
it's
think it.
$30, and it was 27 for anyone who pre-ordered it.
Oh, I thought it was $39.95. Even at 30
That's
bucks,
nope, it's 29.
I think it should be half for me to pick it up. Is when it goes in half of what it is now, I'll pick it up. Maybe $20, but I don't know. My biggest thing, and this is, I can enjoy any game. I could go into Tornuffalo and I can find something good about it. I can actually have fun in a game. That doesn't do it enough for me. You know what I mean? It's got to be more than just a game that I can have fun. I don't know. As we'll talk about it more in tomorrow, but
yeah, we will talk about it more tomorrow, indeed. But Dash Dash World, we've got a list of key features here for it. Of course, they're touting their all original and unique tracks, which is one of the strengths of the game, in my opinion. They say there's a game for everyone with casual and hardcore racing modes. This is one of the ones that has me intrigued, Roots. There's a single player story mode, it says.
Ooh, really? That was one of my favorite things about I can't remember what that one there was a racing game back in the day that you could do, that you flew and you had a plane and car and a boat. I can't remember what, Diddy Kong Racing. And it had a really cool storyline, right? Like the story, just the way you unlocked everything. I really enjoyed playing through it. So maybe it'll be something like that. The campaign.
Maybe. Yeah. Who knows, bro? Who knows? At this point, it could be anything, but with the quality that these developers have displayed, I'm sure whatever it is, it's going to be good.
Yeah. Over 100 missions. So I guess we'll find out.
We have up to 8-player online cross-platform. So no matter what platform you're playing on, I got to imagine. And of course, I don't know if this is going to carry over to like PSVR or not when the day comes that it launches on PSVR. But at least for right now, we know that Quest and Rift players are going to be able to play together up to 8 players at a time.
Cool.
Social features such as memes, stickers, voice chat, and dance moves. Customize every detail from your outfit down to the rims of your car. Regular online tournaments, motion sickness prevention options, and onboarding class for the new VR racer. This is one of the things that I felt like they could have improved on from the beta version, was a little bit better of a tutorial process, and it looks like they're doing just that. And Roots, they say there are over 200 daily quests and achievements, over 200 a day, Roots.
Wow, that's crazy. So what are you unlocking? I guess you're unlocking skins and stuff. Some of these maps, I've never seen that one, I don't think. So that's cool.
Yeah, there's definitely, you can tell from the what they're saying and from the preview footage that there's more to this game than there was when we last saw it.
Yeah, this is going to blow away new Quest owners, because there's so many people they want to play Mario in VR, and this is it. It feels like Mario in VR, right?
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. Anybody who loves playing Mario Kart and has always wanted to play Mario Kart in VR, this is pretty close.
Yeah.
Anyway, of course, as I mentioned before, the game is also going to be coming to Steam VR and PlayStation VR in the very near future. So be on the lookout. But Roots, as good as this thing was, imagine what it's going to look like when our new headsets get here.
Yeah, especially yours. Reverb. It's gonna be crisp and
I mean,
clear.
Quest 2, bro. Quest 2. This is going to run natively on Quest 2.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I keep excluding myself out. This came up with somebody, and I won't mention names, but my thing is like at some point, like a lot of people trade off different things for headsets, right? Specifically tracking. They will be like 2 or 3 generations back in graphics, but then they don't understand why the graphics aren't as good or aren't as clear as they should be. And I'm baffled by that because I stepped back from the Rift S to the CV1 for a month or whatever that time frame was, and there's a huge difference. And then when you got a super sample just to get back to the clarity of the normal clarity, I just think that these people that haven't experienced that next jump up to the Rift S or anything beyond have absolutely no idea what they're looking through. Like what they're seeing, because they've never experienced that jump up, they don't know. But if they knew, it would blow them away. It just baffles me.
It's like somebody who's always had bad eyes putting on glasses for the first time,
right.
isn't it?
That's exactly how it feels. Like when I got contacts years ago, and I remember looking at the moon for the first time because I had been not wearing glasses forever, not even really realizing. And I was like, oh my God, that looks so clear. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think that people realize the sacrifices they're making for that perfect tracking when they also have never tried the Quest tracking or any of the Rift S tracking. They don't realize how good it is and what they're sacrificing.
Or they do realize, and they realize once they try it, they're not going to be able to go back.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's such a weird conundrum. And
Mamefan says he's talking about Scion.
Hey, I'm trying not to throw people under the bus. Specifically, I don't. Somebody said something last night, like they're like, oh, jokingly, but it was serious. They're like afraid to say something to me because I'm going to mention it on the show because I like to bring in real conversation, but at the same time, I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable at the same time. So
speaking of which, Roy Schwartz joined in the chat. I've been hanging out a lot with Roy this week, Roots. We always say it on the Monday show that we really dig what we've been playing, and we're going to keep on playing it, and we get on to the next week and on to the next game. But I've been carrying on with Firewall, man, and Delirium Drew been there, and Roy Schwartz been there through most of it.
Nice. Well, I'll tell you what, dude, that type of a game got a good draw to bring you back in, and you get better and better. And I think it's the strategy, right?
Having a blast with it, dude. We've been going the last couple of times we played. We've been going into public matches and having a lot more fun than I did on it before.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good, man. It's
playing a lot, dude. Playing a lot. I mean, like over the 2 days, I leveled up 4 times. I mean, we played a lot.
This is the way I look at it. Every game is good, and it can be good with a lot of different people. But if you play with the right people, multiplayer becomes something special, something different. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about the people. The gameplay is important, and it's good, and it's fun. But if you were playing with people you couldn't stand, you would hate it. You know what I mean? So like, I that's what I love the most about multiplayer is just getting to hang out with those people and experience the game in a way that I couldn't do by myself.
Yeah, that's very true. Because when we were playing public, Roy and I, we played with a lot of different people. I mean, they may be friends of his, but they were all new to me. Some of them were really cool, and some of them were just kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And most of them were drunk, was the funny thing. So I guess how you handle your liquor has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. I definitely. I say I drink too fast, and then so it goes from one extreme to the next. I try to avoid it.
Yeah. Roy said he just finished a 12-hour stint. This is how he plays.
My God, 12 hours. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's not lying, man. He's on there every time I go into like PlayStation. He's on there playing Firewall. Like
how
literally.
How big would that game be if they brought it to PC?
That's we were talking about that the last time we were in there playing. It's kind of mind blowing that they've built up these dedicated servers and stuff for what's their newest game, Solaris. They've they've built it up and given dedicated service or servers to it for what is but don't get me wrong, people are enjoying it, but it's a fairly basic laser tag game, and when they could have built up Firewall, which is beloved by most people who have played it, and would have been a big hit in PCVR, uh, just because there's really not anything like it on PCVR right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Drew says most any night. Let's get after it. Hey, dude, I'm down. I'm going to keep going on it. I've actually got enough crypto built up now that I can actually buy a real weapon. So I've got to go shopping before we get back in there.
Yeah, hell yeah. Mamefan says he used to be able to do a 12-hour stint no problem before little baby Mamefan came around. That's the frustration. It's the best thing in the world, being a parent, but it's like, it's a time suck.
It is.
It's a time suck, and it just it gets worse and worse, and in a good way. So.
Drillo said Sony probably paid for the entire development of the thing. Who knows? Yeah, well, who knows? That's exactly right. Still, I mean, give us one dedicated server, bro. I mean, we shouldn't have to stop playing just because somebody rage quits.
Yeah, see, I don't like that. I'm not big on that either. It's like the ultimate screw you.
I gotta say though, it's not like it used to be. Most of the people that are in there now are regular players, and they don't just stop for no reason like it used to. The matchups were really imbalanced before, and you had a lot of people just who couldn't do anything, and they would just quit. They didn't care to stop mid game, but now the people who are in there want to be there, and it's a lot better experience.
Even if you take rage quitting out of the way or out of the equation, like power shortages or outages, little Johnny's mom comes in and is pissed because he ignored the trash one too many times, and she just hits the button, and now the whole game goes down. I don't like that, and maybe they can fix it. I don't know. I have no idea anything about servers. Maybe it's too hard or difficult to have a thing to open up for something that isn't that big of an issue, so I don't know.
Scion says he can't play Rift S or Quest 2 because no IPD slider. Well, first of all, there is an IPD adjustment in Quest, and I wouldn't knock it until you try it. Second of all, get the G2, bro. You want a proper slider? There you go.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like I never had an issue with the Rift S IPD adjustment.
I didn't either.
So I don't know. The thing is it is an issue for a lot of people, but you can't assume it's going to be an issue. See, for me, Cylon, because you're in that sweet spot of CV1 goodness, I would at least try the Quest 2 and just see. And if it, you can take it back. And
we need to be clear too that it's not that there's no adjustment. There's no physical adjustment. The digital adjustment, people act like it's non-existent and it don't do anything. It does, and the Rift S has a fairly good sweet spot too. So I mean, you can't just assume that it's not going to work for you unless you're really on the ends of the extreme ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, that's just weird. I just want him to have such a clear experience, and I didn't think it was that big a deal until I sold my Rift S, stepped back to CV1, and was like, oh, what the fuck, and I was ready to do whatever, I had to take the steps to get back to my Rift S, because the clarity was just so meh.
It's not just the clarity either. When we're talking CV1, it's the contrast. That thing is just so dull. I mean, even with my 1080 Ti and my beefed up rig that I had when I had my CV1, I still preferred my PlayStation VR to it back then. It looked better just because of the lack of contrast in the CV1 screen.
Yeah. So, but I did read in fairness, I did read Scion's I don't know exactly. It was like in the forums, right, Sion, where he was basically saying these are the reasons why I'm not buying it, right? Um,
Right.
and so he can't really go back and buy it now after he just posted that, right? It's impossible.
You can do what he wants.
Oh, that's right. You can still do what you want.
Speaking of color and contrast roots, Pixel Ripped 1989. People were surprised when this game launched onto the Oculus Quest platform, or the 1995, the newer edition launched on the Oculus Quest platform a few months back. But for whatever reason, they were unable to release the original Pixel Ripped 1989. That is, of course, until now. They found a loophole, Roots, and they're actually going to be able to bring Pixel Rip 1989 to Oculus Quest now.
That's cool, huh? I like the loophole, but it's weird. It's the loophole you would expect to be the other way around. Like you buy the first Pixel Ripped and you find the sequel in there, hidden somewhere. But it's the other way around, I guess. So you find it hidden in the second one to play the first one. But either way, that's cool.
Right, so for those of you who haven't heard, the full Pixel Rip 1989 will now be playable inside the game's sequel, Pixel Rip 1995, and you're going to be able to access it as paid DLC. The DLC costs $15, which is the same price as the full game on other platforms. Of course, Facebook has never provided any specific reasoning for why 1999 had been rejected in the first place. But in a prepared statement, Arvora creative director Ana Ribeiro said the team was really happy to have found a way together with Oculus to bring the game to so many more fans. So apparently, this is something that they worked out with the help of Oculus. And it's interesting, Oculus provides these stringent rules and then provides loopholes to get around them. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah, and what's weird about it, and it actually, I guess it could benefit them in a way, right? Because you can't have Pixel Rip 1989 DLC without 1995, right? You have to have the base game of the new game, I'm assuming, to get the DLC. So you've essentially got people to buy your game twice or both versions, which is cool,
Well, let's face it though. If somebody buys one, they're going to want to play the other because these are amazing games, especially for people who come from our generation who grew up on these what are now considered retro titles. Uh, these are must-own games, right?
Yeah, it's like I said before about the Pixel Rift is it does something different than any other virtual reality game that I've ever seen. And it does it in a retro way that just takes you back to when you were a kid almost, right? So I think it's
Yeah,
cool.
it's an interesting melding together of everything that we loved as children and everything that we love as adults. Now we have the VR technology, which is state of the art for today, and then we have the old video game technology, which was state of the art for back then, and we were equally blown away with, say, the Super Nintendo as we are with VR right now. So it's an interesting. It's almost like a dream state, right? The way that everything comes together in the one experience.
Yeah, well, it's kind of weird the way you just said what you said. 10 years from now, we're gonna look at this and be like, that was nothing, man. That's how technology is, right? We look at the old school Nintendo and it's like garbage town, dude. It's like so basic, but back in the day, it was like revolutionary, cutting edge. It was the best shit in the world, and it's just crazy how quickly things are moving.
Yeah, and one of my favorite parts of these games is kind of the way that they reference older games. It's not just the consoles that they're referencing, but specific titles from those consoles. And it allows you to experience those memories from your childhood from from the inside, which is one of the things we really love about VR is how it sticks us inside these worlds. But we're in there playing like the most recent one had Castlevania and Road Rash, and I mean the first one had some Mega Man to it. I mean it's just an awesome experience for anyone who's in our age demographic, and for others as well who anyone who really enjoys retro gaming and I'm glad to see that people are finally going to be able to access the entire experience from their Oculus Quest. Because let's face it, Roost, a lot of people all they have is Quest.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's all they need now with the Quest 2, man. That's going to be so powerful. You don't need anything else. You don't even need the CV1 anymore. You can hook it straight to your computer, Scion. Just got to pick it up today.
Delirium Drew says equally. I don't know about that. NES to SNES was crazy. SNES to PS1 was nuts. PS4 to VR was mind blowing, even as a 35-year-old adult. Well, I'm saying, as kids, that jump from NES to Super NES was amazing. Now, obviously, looking back on it, hindsight's 2020. It isn't as groundbreaking as VR is right now. I get that, but I can remember. I was a 8-bit Nintendo fanatic, and I can remember when Nintendo Power first put the published the pictures of what Mario looked like on Super Nintendo.
Mm.
They had screenshots of Super Mario World, and dude, I was just in awe of that. I couldn't believe that the technology had come so far as to make Mario almost look like a animated cartoon character, and yeah, I mean, obviously today that the standards are much higher, but back then, as a kid, it was pure amazement.
Mario 64 is what blew me away. Granted, we were just getting to adulthood, right? But man, like the movement, the way that everything moved, the open world that you're jumping into paintings and going into that world, like it was something different that any Mario I'd ever played, and it was just really cool. And I get the exact analogy you're making, and that's kind of the same way I feel about a lot of these VR games, especially ones like this where they incorporate both of them together. And that's what I thought was the coolest part, was the boss fights and how you're in this virtual world doing whatever, and then that virtual world gets invaded by another virtual world, and everything starts getting bizarre and weird. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, Drillo agrees. He says the jump from SNES to N64 and then PS1 after that was the biggest notice, and things ditched like 2D sprites and side scrolling. Yeah, exactly. I mean, going into the N64 brought about those first, well, no, technically not the very first, but it was the first time that 3D gaming was, you know, a regular thing, with a lot of different titles. And then, PlayStation 1, equally impressive with the capabilities of CD-ROM and the digital audio and video that they were able to incorporate
Mm.
with that. Also mind blowing.
Yeah, real people talking. It's like, oh my god, there's actual person talking in this game, and it's not chat going across that you got to read. That was mind blowing as well. Those are big things, but I think that the things we're going to see with VR in the next year or two is going to be equally blowing in our mind. Like, see the jump that we made from Quest 1 to Quest 2 in a year and a half. It's just insane.
Yeah, the technology really is just now starting to mature, and the new compute power, not only with the new graphics cards for PC, but with the new beefed up consoles, and even something standalone like Quest 2, everything is getting a substantial jump in capability. And I got to imagine over the next year to 18 months to 2 years, we're going to see the game developers catch up to that and provide us with the first legit, awesome VR games. Games that are so good that even flat gamers can't say, uh, boo.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're on the edge. The fly gamers are still saying boo, but they're saying it a little bit quieter, like more like boo, like oh shit. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll
I
see.
feel like that for the most part, people want VR now, and that it's really just a specific demographic now that are still crapping on it, and that is the esports player, the Call of Duty multiplayer guy who has just invested so much of himself into becoming godlike in his own little world there, that he's going to clutch onto it and not let go, uh, at any cost.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he needs to let go. Things are moving on.
Needs to play contractors is what he needs to do.
He needs to get play contractors. He needs to get upgrade his CV1 to a Quest. Oh, we're still talking about Scion or somebody else.
Anyway, these Pixel Rip 1989 as well as 95 are must-own titles. It's great to see that you can actually own both of them now on what is becoming quickly one of the most popular VR platforms. And I'm interested not only to see what people think about this game, but what direction the game goes in the future. If they keep on with this similar trend, eventually they're going to run out of retro eras to emulate, and then they're going to start emulating the period that we're in right now, and we're going to see them going back and emulating the VR games of old, back before we had face tracking and varifocal lenses, right?
Yeah, I'd like to see him emulate Tornuffalo. That would be interesting, because what a gem that's been kind of lost and tossed to the side,
Yeah. And can you imagine Tornuffalo on Quest, dude? Wireless, you'd actually be able to dodge stuff.
You could jump. I just was telling somebody last night in my stream that has the Vive with all the full tracking. And I was telling her that she's missing out on Tornuffalo. Like, if I had full tracking, I'd be jumping shit all day in Tornuffalo. Well, maybe not, but...
Scion says to you, Roots, he says, you enjoy that poo-poo slider. And to Scion, I say, well, you enjoy all of those pixels, and by all of them, I mean the few of them that there are, dimly lit as they may be.
What's funny is, there's the 3 sliders, right, for the Quest 2. See, this is my problem. This is my conundrum. There's 3 slider spots. You got 58, you got 63, and you got 68, right? Now, my problem is my IP... I have it set on the Rift S at 63.7. So I'm going to be right in the middle of the sweet spot. That sucks, dude. Oh, wait, that's actually good for me. So I don't have to worry about that sign. It's going to be perfect, bro. Like, I'm going to enjoy that slider because it's going to be right in the middle, and I'm going to be, it's going to be clear.
Yeah. Well, to each their own. If he wants to stay firmly implanted in 2016, then... it'll be all the better for him when he finally does make the jump. Right?
Yeah, dude, when you make that jump, Scion, and I give you a hard time, dude, but like for somebody that's really into games that need to be tracked as much as his does, Echo VR, I get it. But man, when you do upgrade, it's going to be phenomenal, and it's going to blow your mind. Because I'm just going backwards to CV1 and coming back to Rift S blew my mind again, and I'm looking forward to the next iteration of my mind blown with Quest 2. Now, Wes, everybody's telling me about these artifacts or not projection, I guess the compression. Do I have something to worry about this compression, Wes? Because I've heard it come out of your mouth that you think it's overblown. I'm inclined to probably agree with you without seeing it, because I think everybody overblows everything. But I don't know.
It is. For anyone who has any kind of experience with Oculus Trade Tool, it's really a non-issue, because any kind of visual degradation that would come through the compression, you can overpower it with a good graphics card, and that's basically how I dealt with it.
Yeah, Scion says it'd be ironic if the Quest 2 gave me headaches. I don't think it would. So far I don't get headaches from VR. I've played the most jacked up games. You can feel it coming on. If things aren't right, like if it's not blurry or whatever, yeah, you absolutely can get headaches. So, but I think maybe you might be convincing yourself that you get headaches if it's 1 millimeter off. You've already decided that that's going to happen, Scion. You decided it.
Anyway, Scion needs to check it out if for no other reason other than The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners coming out on Quest 2. And we all know how much Scion loves zombies.
Oh yeah, dude, I will literally play through that. Not only am I looking forward to playing through that, I've got people that there's a maintenance guy at one of the properties I do. He has no idea about VR at all, and I told him, I said, I'm gonna bring it in here, dude. Yeah, throw him in there. I'm going to put him right in the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners first game and watch him like scream and run into the wall probably or something. But
And Saints and Sinners, a perfect example of what developers can do with the Quest 2 if they want to enhance games for the Quest 2 over the Quest 1. 12 gigabytes Roots, which is like, I mean, that's like 5 to 6 to 8 even regular size Quest titles. So this thing's going to be a monster. And in my opinion, that's a good thing. That's what I want. When you give me Quest 2, you give me a device that's more capable. I want to see developers take advantage of it, and it, at least in this case, appears to be what they're doing.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm excited, man. I want to see all this, and that's one of the. It's a perfect example, and I said this before, and people disagreed with me, but I still think 64 gigs is not enough, especially now. Like Quest 2, you got the 64 gigs, great. I think it's going to be a problem for you, but if that's the only way you can get into VR, I'd rather deal with that than not have it at all. But that's why I opted. $100 for 4 times the space was worth it. When you double the space, it was questionable, but 4 times is definitely worth it. So
Yeah, well, I mean, I really didn't feel like it was necessary in the first generation because the games were so small. But when I saw that they were giving us such a jump in performance with this new headset, I kind of felt like the extra space was warranted. And, here's proof positive that it absolutely is.
yeah, absolutely. And what an amazing game. I really am psyched to check out that game in VR or on the portable headset because it's so good
Yeah.
on PC and it looks so good on the Quest too.
Yeah, I can't wait. Just to check out the Quest 2 in general. I'm super hyped for it. Less than 10 days away, Roots.
I know, and this is like I'm a virgin. I'm a wireless virgin that has no idea what's going on. I'm gonna be like spinning around in my downtown living room, or downstairs. The best thing about it is for me is I'm trying to get my son into VR a little bit more, and he's not. I mean, he likes it, but he's not that big into it. But I don't leave my computer on, and no one has access to my stuff. I want to be here when it's being ran, right? But I'm going to let he'll have more access to my Quest when I'm not around to just grab it if he wants to. So I'm hoping that will be something he does, and I'm really crossing fingers and hoping since he's 22, he'll be diligent to keep it out of the sun, because talk about freaking Roots out, pissing him off. You burn my displays. I'm not gonna be happy.
Yeah, dude. If there's any, I mean, like my 9-year-old knows not to leave it in the sun. So if your kid's destroying your Quest, something is the matter.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stress that. I just want everybody to treat my stuff with respect. That's all.
Roy Schwartz says, "LOL, Roots the jumping king."
Oh yeah, they were
That's
saying
true.
they should see me in Sea of Thieves. I do jump, but any PvP, yeah, if you can jump, it's harder to hit you if you're jumping, and people get pissed. They get salty. If you've ever played Call of Duty, especially like people are jumping, sliding around, and doing shit that it's hard. It's like all of a sudden somebody's in the air shooting you at an angle, and you're like, oh shit, and you just die. It's fun.
Well, it's interesting timing for that comment because Hellsplit Arena now has a new update, and the new update is the first major update for the game, which incorporates most important remarks and suggestions that players have left for the development team. Roots, I've kind of felt like Hellsplit Arena was a really good, highly polished game to begin with. So I'm really interested to see that. I mean, this is a pretty big update that they're implementing here, and it's available now.
Yeah, we need to get back into this. This is one of the games I picked up. I played a little bit of it, and we enjoyed it. And we just kind of, again, case in point of what you were saying at the beginning of the show, just kind of forgot about it, moved on. That's kind of why I like the way that a lot of these games with the updates and the additions and stuff, because it does get them back in the news, and at least for us, or I guess anybody that watches our show, it kind of revamps the game, gives you a chance to go back and look at it again and maybe, play through it. Or somebody like Alex, You know, there's so many games out there that he may never even touch because it's still in early access. Now, I'm assuming this isn't out of early access, but at some point
Well,
it
I
will
mean,
be.
the version is 1.01 or 1.02, so I got to imagine that it probably is out of early
Oh,
access.
okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I was impressed with it to begin with, and we didn't really play that much of it. So I would like to get back into it and see if there's, if I remember correctly, we were impressed with the way that the fighting felt, right? And
Yeah, yeah, and this was probably one of my favorite game, if not my favorite game that I played of this kind. Like I enjoyed it more than Gorn by far. I even liked it better than Until You Fall. I think when it comes to head-to-head melee combat, this might be the best one that I've tried.
okay. Yeah, well, it definitely is one of the best arenas as well. And Scion says he's worried about his glasses scratching the lenses in the Quest 2. Don't they have like a spacer you can buy?
They
Like a
do.
special spacer? Yeah,
You
Scion.
don't have to buy it; it comes with it. It's
Yeah,
free in the box.
yeah, so you don't have to worry about that. That's actually going to protect your glasses. We're going to sell you. We're going to sell you on the Quest 2, Scion, before this stream is over.
He don't want to be sold, Roots. That's why he keeps coming up with these things.
Yeah, that's true. I guess at some point, I don't know. I'm excited, Wes. I already have the Rift S clarity, and I'm excited about having it be even more clear. Is that weird? Like I have better
Oh, dude.
graphics. I want to. I feel like I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm happy for you. I mean, I'm excited, and I had a Quest 1, so I'm like, I can only imagine how excited you are about it.
Well, especially because this is my mindset, Wes. I literally had the moment this couple days ago where I started to do the math, and I thought, with the cost that I'm paying for the Quest 2 for the 256, the elite strap with the battery, the link cable, like I'm literally pushing 3080 graphics card cost. So I started to think, okay, well, would I be better off getting the 3080 for my overall VR experience and scrapping that, right? Because I could do that. I could just cancel all that stuff and focus on that card. But I've decided I want the wireless headset. I want the upgrade in the graphic fidelity. I don't as good as the video card would be. I feel like my video card's already really good. I'll get more out of the Quest 2 than I would upgrading my video card at this point anyway. And so I've decided to stick with it, and I've only got 10 more days to wait. So
Yeah, I've had similar debates with myself over where to allocate my resources, and I've come to the general conclusion that the best thing that I can do as a VR enthusiast is provide myself access to all of the different platforms, especially when you consider that most of the AAA games are probably going to be coming to platforms other than PC first. I fully expect that standalone and console VR is going to be the driver going forward. So as much as we love playing VR on PC, it pays to have that versatility to be able to pick up a Quest or a PlayStation VR and whenever an exclusive title gets released on them.
yeah, not only that, but like I'm not always at home, but sometimes I want to play VR. So like I could take it with me, even if it's a friend's or God forbid you're at a relative's house and you're stuck in that really quiet room that has that clock that's ticking and that's all you can hear and it's just like you can't sleep. Just grab your VR and you're just going to town, you're Beat Saber in it or whatever. I just think it's cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean that can't be understated as well, how cool it is to be able to just throw VR in a backpack and go. I mean, that's insanity.
Yeah, and I've got the free case, Wes. I got the free case that comes along with that $130 expensive Elite strap.
The free case that comes in the $130 package.
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't convenience of everything put into one, that's way too expensive, man. Like I bought it on instinct because Mamefan bought it, and I thought, well, Mamefan knows his shit. If he's getting it, I'm getting it. And then I
There you
found out
go.
Radio Runt's getting it too, and then I really had to have it. So I think it'll be beneficial, but $130 is expensive.
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
a little high, bro. I went for the $50 strap. If I could have got the better strap for an extra 30 or $40 on top of that, I would have. But I mean, to charge
Three
an
times.
extra $90 for like a battery, nah,
Yeah.
that's okay, bro. I'll go with that.
Yeah, you already got a battery.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't need two. I think the battery's the problem, right? Why do I want two of them?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, Hellsplit Arena, a fairly lengthy change log, and I didn't write the whole thing down here, but I got quite a few of it. Just some highlights, Roots. First of all, avatar upgrades include inverse kinematics added to the hands and more accurate control of shoulder and elbow joints. And this one, Roots, again, near and dear to your heart, I'm sure, jumps have been added.
Oh, good. Yeah, you're supposed to be jump. That's my thing. Is I've never been in my life, and maybe I'll, and I'm not even gonna put it out there. But I can always jump. I don't care what I'm doing. I can be folding laundry, and if I want to jump, I'm able to jump. So being in virtual reality and not being able to jump, to me, it breaks immersion. So it's good.
The control systems. Of course, Valve Index controller support has finally been added to this game, as well as a universal control configurations for all controllers.
Wow. That took a while.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you would have thought that it would have Valve control by now, or Valve support by now, but apparently not.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Settings updates include a rendering scale setting that has been added and a rotation speed option that has been added. Both essential in my opinion, Roots.
Yeah, well, I definitely speed option is always, any option is good. You know, we've always said that on the show, right? Options are king, and even if you feel like I can't handle it, let me decide if I can handle it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then here we have gameplay, and there's a laundry list here. First of all, it says half sorting has been added. What's half sorting, Roots?
I don't know. I guess you'd have to be like, maybe if you were into sword fighting or whatever. And some people are like, shit, dude, you don't even know what a half, come on. I guess maybe a half a slice. I don't know.
Maybe they break your sword and you still fight with the hilt.
That would be cool. Yeah, I could still kill somebody with the hilt of a sword if I have enough of a jabby point, right?
Right.
At least take their eye out or something.
Or if you guys in the chat, if you know what half sorting is, let us know.
Yeah.
Interaction with the static environment has improved, and grabbing of all interactive objects has improved. Grabbing of enemies has improved, and the possibility to pull the weapon is added. So apparently, a lot more interactivity, not only with the enemy but the environment as well.
Now, this is just an arena, right? Does this have like story mode? I can't remember if it does or not.
It's kind of got a backstory, but it's an arena based, battle game.
Okay.
It's kind of like Gorn. It's got about as much story as Gorn has.
Yeah, it looks really good though, graphically. I don't know if I'd be running my hand along the blade like that. That sounds a little creepy.
Yeah, it's going to, as actually graphically, it's going to look even better now. But we'll get to that next. Let's see here. Shield bashes have improved. Stabbing of enemies has improved. Stabbing with the weapon in the environmental objects has been added. So apparently, if I'm reading this correctly, you're going to be able to grab objects from the environment and stab the enemies with it.
Oh, cool. Well, that's one of the things that you want. You want to be able to grab everything, right? So that's good.
Yeah. New interactive environmental objects have been added, and the possibility to stab a zombie's neck in a closed helmet is added. So when you're fighting a helmeted enemy, you don't just have to attack their body anymore. You can actually stab them in the neck now under their helmet and kill them.
Well, that's good. Who doesn't want to stab somebody in the neck? Onikazi says half sorting is when you grab the blade for leverage. So
you know who loves getting stabbed in the neck, Roots?
My mom!
Who doesn't love getting stabbed in the neck, though? You know what I mean? Like, I'd question somebody. If they say, I don't like that, then, like, what's wrong with you? You haven't lived until you've been stabbed.
So holding the blade for leverage is kind of
right
like
there.
choking up on it a little bit.
Yeah, the guy just did that. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's a good leverage thing, though, because blades are sharp. And,
yeah.
I don't know.
Especially if it's a Hattori Hamza sword. That'll cut your hand off. You'll lose your fingers doing that.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good move.
Graphics improvements. There was a whole like a laundry list of different ways that they have improved lighting, and I just condensed it all down into one bullet point. It's got better lighting, Roots.
Well, hey, that definitely makes it look a lot better for sure. Um, it says this game and Blades and Sorcery need a single player campaign. That's the thing I think, Jarilla. I agree. Just give me a campaign, something that drags me through. I'm going through. Maybe I'm going to rescue the princess or something, or I
Well,
don't know.
this is not a sandbox. There is a campaign, and in fact, the very next bullet point on the list here is that the locations of the arena campaign have improved.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess Roots just needs to stop bitching. Sounds like they're doing everything that every game should do, right? So.
Kick wounds have been added, so you kick the zombies, it leaves a spot on them now.
Oh, cool. Well, I'll tell you what, this definitely looks better to me than Gorn. I mean, Gorn's fun, but it's so cartoony. This one actually is creepy. Be a good Halloween game, right?
Yeah, dude. Almost as good as the Jesus radar, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I want my Jesus radar, dude. Weren't we talking about that before last Halloween? I could have sworn. Maybe I'm wrong, but
Hey, it is about time for it, isn't it? I guess I need to get off my hands and touch base with this dude. I keep saying I'm going to, and I did, at the beginning of the year, I touched base with him a little bit, but it's time to contact him again, huh?
that game looks so good. I want to check it out.
Yeah. Arenas. The Fort Training Arena has been added, and lighting variations of the Cemetery Arena have been added as well.
Yeah, well, I hope Mepper's right, and you would use a single edged sword to grab onto. That would definitely make more sense. Not a double edged, right, or two edged.
That's true. System improvements. The FPS stability has been improved, as well as the game loading time.
Good. Well, it sounds like they're doing all the good things, right?
Yep. Sounds like a substantial, beefy update. And this one, I could say, Roots, honestly, this one has Monday Show written all over it, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not tomorrow, obviously. We've got games that we're talking about tomorrow, but in a soon to come Monday Show, I could very much see us jumping back into this one
after you get your new headset, right? Or headsets.
Yeah, won't be long. Won't be long.
Yeah, exciting.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's exciting.
Oh yeah, for sure. Anyway, moving on. We're coming up against the clock here a little bit, so I'm going to try to pick up the pace for these last few topics, and the next one has probably got me as excited as any of them, Roots. It's another new game reveal. This game is a game called Ryte, the Eye of Atlantis. And as many of you know, especially Scion, Scion World's classic puzzle title Myst has inspired countless video games over the past couple of decades. And by the end of the year, there's going to be one more. Let me see. We'll try to pronounce this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Orichalcum Pictures and VR Connection have announced Ryte, the Eye of Atlantis, a puzzle adventure due soon for PC VR headsets. Ryte, the Eye of Atlantis will mix both myth and archaeological history together with environments inspired by ancient Greece and Egyptian civilization. So Roots, here we have a Myst abduction style puzzle game, story driven environmental puzzler. And we don't have a lot of footage of it yet, but what they've showed us here, it looks really good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks really good. Looks like it'd be a good environment. Hopefully the story is tight, but definitely looks like something that could be really good.
The experience will transport players to the lost city of Atlantis, unraveling its mysteries to prevent a global catastrophe. We got a quote here from Clovis Rosilian, who is the president at Orichalcum Pictures. He says, with Ryte, the Eye of Atlantis, our team strives to offer an experience that appeals to fans of the classic graphic adventure games like Myst, as well as history buffs who appreciate authenticity. We are working diligently to ensure our vision of this mythical civilization is just as entertaining to play as it is true to life. Uh, so, Roots, they're talking about a game that's set in Atlantis, but these guys want to be historically accurate with it.
Yeah, well, man, maybe they believe Atlantis is real. There's some people that believe that it was
I think
real.
it's pretty obvious that they do here, man. If you keep reading on, I think these guys absolutely think that Atlantis was real, and you know what?
Hmm.
Good for them.
Yeah. Well, my thing is about history is, you know, I mean, there's so much that was going on that I'm sure there was some truth to it, but you know, we have this weird, unique thought process, and I guess it's probably like this throughout history, where we believe we are the most advanced we've ever been as a humanity. The technology's never been better than it is today, and I don't necessarily believe that. I believe that things go in cycles, and humanity tends to build up and then almost destroy itself and then rebuild back up, and it goes through cycles. So who knows what's real and what's not.
This is absolutely true. You know, the theories of our origins on the planet are constantly being challenged by archaeological finds that just don't fit the mold. And they find stuff, they reevaluate, and then they find more stuff. So, yeah, I think exactly what you're saying here is true, is that there probably is some truth behind the myths of Atlantis. And it may be a long time, though, before we ever encounter any hard evidence of it or any real true details regarding on life. But stepping into Atlantis using Plato's depiction of the city, players will encounter markets and sacred temples to explore, utilizing supernatural powers like telekinesis to manipulate the environment and solve puzzles. This is what they mean by historically accurate Roots. They're actually using Plato's fairly detailed description of Atlantis, and that's what they're building their game around.
Oh, cool. So even if you're just like really into that history or what he describes as Atlantis, it'd be cool to be in that. You're getting to go to that world, right? So that's cool. I'd like to check it out, you know?
Yeah, well, this is something that appeals to me anyway. You know, I'm not much of a history buff anymore, but I mean, there was a time there that it's all I was into, is reading these books about not only history, but kind of forbidden archaeology, if you will, the stuff that falls outside the official narrative. And Atlantis was one of those things that I was really into back then.
Yeah, it's definitely very interesting, intriguing, and I think it's cool that they're giving us a chance to go into that world. So
It says that you'll step into the shoes of an Atlantean who is on the run, and you'll make allies and witness epic battles between giant centurions. Right, the Eye of Atlantis is going to be filled with puzzles to solve, looking for clues to decode riddles, or reading the stars to unlock magical energies. During the course of the adventure, players will also have moral decisions to make, which will change the outcome, with 4 different endings to unlock. So this doesn't seem like a small undertaking here, Roots. This seems like a highly polished puzzle adventure. And I guess if you're going to invoke the name of Myst during your promotional campaign, you better come with something good, right?
yeah, you don't take that lightly, because that's the comparison. You've now compared this to Mist, so if it comes out and it's not like Mist, or it's janky, or it's, you know, just basic, people are going to shit all over it, because their expectations are now that this is Mist. It's not Mist, it's a Mist like game. It's dangerous, dude. Like in 2020, man, people, they run with stuff. They hear what they want to hear. They hear a smidge of it, and then they're like, "Oh, dude, this is Mist." And then it comes out, and it's not Mist, and then they freak out. But I think that shows their
I'd be
confidence.
interested to know what Scion thinks of this trailer here because I think this game looks really good, and I'm excited. I'm excited to try it out.
Scion VR says this game sounds like the right game for him.
What's with Scion and all these damn puns today, man? I mean, come on, bro.
I love it.
Well, I didn't get that one on my chat, so apparently my chat's broken. Oh no, I did. Damn it! There it is.
Yeah.
Stop it, Scion. It's not good, dude.
Hey, what's up, Skiva?
Anyway, Orichalcum Pictures and VR Connection are working toward a winter 2020 launch for Ryte, the Eye of Atlantis, supporting Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, and Valve Index. So we're not going to have to wait very long to find out about this one, Roots. And for all of you people out there who were distraught that Firmament got pushed back for so long, here's something to tide you over, along with Myst itself being remade for VR. So those guys are going to have plenty of stuff to play this winter.
Absolutely. Mepper's throwing shade on the Centurion, though. He says he doesn't know how to fight. You don't hold your shield back behind your back when you're fighting. He's right. That's usually you put the shield in front of you because that's when, unless maybe there's something's coming from behind, but you can't protect yourself by putting your shield back behind you. Doesn't work that way.
You know who else loves when people come from behind, Roots?
My mom!
Busy today. Big time.
I know, right? Anyway, excited for this one. Be on the lookout for it. Stay tuned to Virtual Strangers for more information as it emerges.
No.
This next one here, or really these last two topics that I have are just tidbits I wanted to mention, things I wanted to share with the community that we don't have the most information on, but exciting nonetheless. First of all, we have agency. And what agency is, for those of you who have backed the Kickstarter for Lo-Fi, you'll know that Mr. Renaud updates us every now and then with where he's at in development and other things that just happen to be on his mind. We received one such update on Lo-Fi last week, and toward the end of the message, he informed us of his intent to develop a game called Agency. And here's the quote. I basically just copied over the whole statement on the thing. It says, our team has sent a pitch to Oculus for a lo-fi spin-off named Agency for the Oculus Quest. In this action-adventure title, loaded with some of your favorite locations and characters, you play as Malice during her rise from a humble servant to a leader of the robot rebellion. We're really excited about the experience afforded by the quest and hope that you'll enjoy what we have planned. Of course, there's no reason that an experience made for Quest can't be experienced on other headsets, so we'll see what the future holds. Whether you're a Quest owner or now, we want you to be able to enjoy it. Wish us luck. So here we go, Roots. This is a proposed spinoff from Lo-Fi. And from the sounds of it, this is going to be a more traditional game. What a lot of people wanted from Lo-Fi, it seems like that's exactly what Agency is going to be.
Yeah, maybe it's a chance to give people what they want. My thing is I already pre-bought Lo-Fi. You know, I joined the Kickstarter. I want them to finish Lo-Fi, not start another game for another platform.
Let's clarify. And obviously, I didn't read the whole update. But that is absolutely the plan. They're not working on this game.
Oh, so they're just like bringing it up, just saying this is coming in the future type of thing.
Well, they're letting us know that they pitched it to Oculus, like they're waiting on approval to begin work on it.
Oh, cool. Well, exciting. Because I want to check out Lo-Fi, and I think it'd be cool to have another version of it, especially more of a traditional game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This sounds like right down my alley. Not that Lo-Fi isn't. I don't know if you've been staying up to date with all of the different updates on Lo-Fi, but this thing is just looking sick, dude. I mean, the atmosphere that he's put together in this place is thick. You could cut it with a knife.
Nice. Well, I can't wait. Yeah, no, I haven't gone into it for a while. I need to check it out. I mean, we got we have the build, so we can check it out.
Yeah, I haven't went into it since pre-Kickstarter. Now at this point, I don't think I'm going to, Roots. I think uh, I don't want to spoil it for myself. I want to let them finish it. They're saying early 2021 now for the launch on it. They did. It was previously slated for the end of 2020, but they said COVID, of course, set them back a little bit. So now it's going to be early 2021. But we're close enough to it now, Roots, that I kind of feel like it would be, uh, it would take away from the final experience if I go into this half-baked version of it and ruin the surprises before the narrative is getting put into the game.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, and it's not going to change. I mean, there's enough of it changing that it would change things. You know, it's kind of
Yeah.
I kind of feel the same way about Onslaught, but I mean, clearly the narrative's not going to change. But if I'm going to play it, it's going to be after they've tweaked everything and made it good. I don't want to go in, play it janky, and then have to go back in a second time. You know.
Right. But I just thought I would share that with you guys. I know a lot of you have been excited for Lo-Fi, and I thought this is really cool news that we could possibly be getting a spin-off game uh, for Oculus Quest, which at one time wouldn't have been as exciting, but now that we have a legit Quest that has some beef behind it, uh, things like Boneworks, things like Lo-Fi, actually seem viable on it and exciting.
Yeah, can't wait.
5 days. The daily deal is Death Horizon Reloaded, which is a game we covered on a very recent Monday show. Um, Pretty fun little zombie shooter with co-op support coming. It's $15 right now.
Wow. That's a good
And
deal.
the bundles are actually really intriguing this week. First of all, we have Red Matter bundled with Time Stall for $27. So two very good games, or at least one very good game and one very intriguing game. And Red Matter, one of those games I've been flirting with picking up for Quest anyway, just because I want to see how good it's going to look in the new headset.
Yeah, it looked good in the first one, amazing on the second one, I would imagine. And is Time Stall the one that Anthony liked that had the different? Now that was a different time thing, right? With the different platforms or something. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're talking about with Anthony here, but this is a time manipulation puzzler that was published by Oculus Studios. So
Oh, okay, cool. That's a good deal.
yeah, 4.5 stars rating on it. Looks like a good game. So
Cool.
the other bundle is Angry Birds Isle of Pigs, a very awesome palette cleanser type game, along with Shooty Skies Overdrive, which is kind of a retro bullet hell wave shooter. You can own both of those games, Roots, for $17. Not a bad deal at all.
Yeah, that's a good deal, right?
Yep. All right. From the Oculus Quest store, we move on to the Oculus Link store. And on the Oculus Link store this week, Roots, Windlands 2 is $15.
Wow, this is worth getting it all day long, man. What a fun multiplayer game, right?
Yeah, dude. And same price on Steam. So for those of you who have been holding out trying to catch it on a sale, $15 is a steal for it.
Yep.
Other games included on the Link store, Freediver is $4. Evasion, another great co-op game, $10. Gadgeteer, $13. Scions Baby, Into the Radius is $21. And Gates of Nowhere Roots is $3.
Wow, dude, there's some games on the Gates of Nowhere for $3. That's a no-brainer, right? But
Yeah,
every one of those
there's
games are worth
things.
playing through for sure.
Yeah, it shows why it's so. I mean, if you look at free stuff and killer deals any week, it shows why the VR space is such a difficult spot for an independent developer to get a foothold in. Because if you're coming out with your $20 or $30 game, no matter how good it is, you can get the best games in VR for less than $5 a lot of the time.
Yeah, definitely makes it more difficult to compete for sure.
All right, moving on to Steam. Of course, you all know that the Frostpoint VR beta is currently taking place. I thought that this was something that you had to apply for, but apparently you can go right on the Steam Roots and just join the beta and download the game.
Really? Well, I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
man, it's definitely unique. They need to tweak it. I think they need to make the AI a little bit harder, or the enemies. But Radio Rut and I had a pretty good time in there. So
Yep. And yeah, I'm glad to see that you can just pick it up, because I'm not going to have a headset to right at the very end, so I didn't want to apply for it. But if I've got a week left in the beta and all I have to do is download it and join, I'll probably be checking this out here as soon as I get my headset.
yeah, definitely worth it.
Got a laundry list of bargain basement prices coming from Steam. First of all, Narcosis is $4. Don't Knock Twice, $6. Tower Tag, $4. Apex Construct, $5. Operation Warcade, $5. And the Allison's Diary trilogy is $7. Allison's Diary being something I've always been kind of curious about, because you see it on sale every time there's a sale, but it's always, this episode, that episode. Here we have the whole trilogy together for $7.
$7? Are you gonna get it?
Yep. I don't know, man. I've never heard anybody talk and say whether it's good or not. Looks like my type of game.
Yeah, I haven't heard too much about it, except for, like you said, you hear about sales, but never really too much more. So
Viveport, one new title to report this week. That's Hospitality VR. It's kind of a horror experience. It only lasts about 10 or 15 minutes. Very quick, but apparently pretty good. Certainly worth checking out if it's on Viveport Infinity.
yeah, for sure.
And last but not least, we've got a deal going on Humble Bundle this week. There's a bundle called the One Special Day Bundle, which is a tiered bundle. What you get depends on how much you pay. But if you buy into the $5 tier, you get Battlezone with it. And if you buy into the $10 tier, you get Dirt Rally 2. So $10 can net you two very, very good VR games, multiplayer games. And yeah, I think it's worth it all day. $10 for two great games.
Well, those are keys, right? Like when you do that, you get the key and then you activate.
Absolutely, that's true. Yeah.
So that might be a good way for me to get a couple of games for the end of the year show. A battle.
There you go.
Yeah. Battlezone Dirt Rally 2 coming.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to get in and play some Dirt Rally. And I think that's going to be one of my things on the early to-do list with the G2 is get in for some VR racing.
With a wheel or with the controller?
No, just with the controller. I've never played it. I've never played Dirt Rally 1 or 2, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, I don't see. My experience was that I just couldn't get it to drive very well without the wheel. So maybe there's other people that think, wow, it's so good without the wheel, but I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, we will see. All right, and that brings us to our final reminder of the week, friends, and that is how you can support our channel. For those of you who are new, of course, the best thing you can do, the most helpful thing, would be to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay up with all of our content. Of course, this is the easiest and quickest way to help our community grow, so please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And then, of course, for those of you who have been longtime subscribers who want to do a little something extra, of course, you can do so by supporting us on Patreon, where for as little as $3 per month, you can gain access to our early show notes, as well as the always awesome Money Show. That's Virtual Strangers on Patreon.com. And, of course, for those of you who don't want to see the end of the show come, who wants the conversation to continue, well, it absolutely can and will continue on our Discord, friends. And you can find an invitation to that Discord community in the description down below. So scroll down, click the link, join the community, and join the conversation.
Yeah.
All right. With that said, friends, I got to go to work. So I want to thank you once again for watching. And for Roots, I'm Wes. We'll see you.